What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here. Welcome to Out of My Element, where typically you guys get to pick the albums that I review. So yeah, this series is back, but rather than letting you guys pick the album this time, I picked it myself. This is not going to be the norm, but it's how we're doing it today. Details on how this will work from here out will be at the end of this video. So, I've talked to the Dead and Hip Hop guys here and there about how I'm just not a fan of Jay-Z, which they all think is just nuts because, you know, he's Hova. But they've told me, specifically FIFO and Rod Modest Media, they told me to check out American Gangster. They said that that would be the one to sway me if there ever was a Jay album that would sway me. So I decided to give it a shot. You know, the whole idea that he put together an album that goes through the various emotions and moods that Frank Lucas went through in the movie, I thought that was really interesting. So starting off, this is definitely not what I expected. The first song, Pray, I really dug the production and the whole narrative about growing up in dangerous urban environments, especially the drug dealing aspect. I thought that was really cool, and I thought this line was really dope where he says, "This is the genesis of a nemesis Mother America's not witnessed since. The Harlem Renaissance birthed black businesses. This is the tale of lost innocence." The whole idea of the war on drugs being the birth of America's biggest enemy, ourselves basically. But I like how he says Mother America hasn't witnessed this since. And the following line where he's talking about the birth of black businesses and how that turned into the drug dealing activities in the hood. Mother America and birth, Mother America creating the enemy itself. I thought that was really, really dope. Everything I seen made me everything I am. Bad drug dealer or victim, I beg. What came first, moving chickens or the egg? This is why I be so fresh. I'm trying to beat life because I can't cheat death. I just thought that line was really, really dope. But it's the next song, American Dreamin', that brought me right back to why I don't care for Jay-Z. His boring ass flow. The beat was okay with the horns and the drums or whatever, but I can't get into how he rhymes here. It's just so goddamn dry. Nothing he says here, like even if they were really hard lines, they just don't hit. Hello Brooklyn with Lil Wayne didn't do it for me either. I didn't care for the beat. You know, the whole Beastie Boys sample and reference was cool, but it didn't come together very well, and I thought that Jay and Wayne's verses were a bit boring. It brought it back to me on No Hook. I just thought the way that he did his lines on this track was really dope. He didn't necessarily say anything that was incredibly hard or deep, but the way he laid his lines out was really cool. He played with his flow a bit, which was really nice, just in case a nigga got to use his rat-tat-tat-tat. I thought it was really creative the way he did that with the drums. Rock Boys, I kind of forgot about this song. You know, there are only a few singles that I've heard by Jay that I actually liked, and I kind of forgot that I really dug this one. I like the beat a lot with that swing and those horns, and the hook is really, really catchy. The only thing I didn't like about this song was Kanye's contributions to the hook. That "we in the house," it just sticks out in a really bad and annoying way. Then after that, I went right back into that sound that I really don't like. More production that's just too damn light, and his boring ass flow that makes me want to go to sleep. Especially that shit where he kind of like out of breath finishes lines like, "I'm going to the store, I'm going to the beach, I'm going upstairs." I can't stand that shit. Party Life was just plain painful for me. The beat was kind of cool if someone was just singing over it, but him rapping on it did not work for me. It sounds like some old India Irie shit. And I like India Irie, but Jay ain't India Irie. The song Ignorant Shit, that was okay. Still, the production is a little bit light for me to really enjoy Jay's voice, but there was something I noticed here that I wanted to ask you about. In the hook, Jay says, "Nigga, fuck, shit, ass, bitch, trick, plus ice," or plus weed, whatever. Is that a reference to the Eminem line where he says, "I don't got that bad of a mouth, do I? Fuck, shit, ass, bitch, cunt, doobie-doo-boo-bop," whatever. Like, and then I was listening to the album a little bit later on, and in the song Success with Nas, Jay blatantly borrows M's lyrics. So I'm wondering if he did this twice, because I've never heard anybody actually talk about that. But back to Success, actually, I really liked this song. The kind of stripped back beat with the dope church organ samples and the kind of breakbeat drums, and I really like how Jay wrote this. But it was actually Nas's verse that I thought was the best thing on this whole shit. Ghetto Othello, Sugar Hill Romello, Camaro driven, I climax from paper, then ask, why is life worth living? That shit is dope as fuck. I ain't even got nothing else to say about that verse except it's dope as fuck. I also like Blue Magic a lot. I thought that beat was really dope, just the swing on it, the drums, and shit like this that's more somber works better with Jay's voice for me personally. Like, this might have been my favorite jam on the whole album, and Pharrell's hook on it was just so lovely. That In Vogue throwback, and Jay's lyrics on this are actually really, really dope. Blame Reagan for making me into a monster. Blame Oliver North and Iran-Contra. Iran-Contraband that they sponsored before this rhyming stuff. We was in concert. The whole use of the word concert as a dual word, like meaning concert as we know it as a live show, but also concert as conspiracy. He was conspiring with drug dealers and traffickers before doing concerts. Anyway, I thought that song was really dope, and I like this sound for Jay, and I think that's why I liked 444 so much better than his other albums, and I don't think I realized it clearly until hearing this record. The more down-tempo sound works better with Jay's voice for me than the more boisterous beats. But yeah, overall, I really just wasn't feeling this project, man. There are moments here and there that I like, but as a whole project, it's simply not for me. I really don't get the appeal personally, and honestly, I'm just still stuck on why people think he's one of the greatest MCs of all time. Like, he's simply never said anything that made me understand that. He's never put together a rhyme scheme or verses or anything that's made me say, okay, yeah, now I see why y'all say this. You know, part of me wonders if it's a hive mind mentality where a lot of people say it so you start to believe it, or where a bunch of people say his lines are so much deeper than you think, and since you don't get it, you think they must be telling the truth and that he's just so genius that he's going over your head. Like, I don't know. Or maybe it's just that I'm simply just not getting it. Like, maybe I'm just not connecting the dots. Either way, Jay-Z is just simply not the rapper for me. In the words of Sage Francis, I like 99 rappers, but Jay-Z ain't one. Again, I don't think he's whack at all, but I'm simply not a fan, and this album did absolutely nothing to change that. In fact, it solidified it. So feel free to leave some comments in the comment section down there about what you think of this album and how crazy you think I am. That's fine. But yeah, about Out of My Element moving forward. So you guys know the reason I paused this series is because I was getting what I thought to be too much trolling. Doesn't matter if you agree or not, that's how I was seeing it. So from here on out of My Element will still be controlled by you guys, but only certain ones of you guys. I'm opening up a Patreon within the next few days, and anyone that pledges $1 or more will be able to put the albums that they want reviewed into the poll. I'm not going to get into details about how it's going to work right now. That will be in the Patreon video that will be coming later. But yeah, this is not a discussion. This is the way it's going to work from now on. If you're cool with it, which I hope you are, great. If you're not cool with it, that really sucks, but that's cool too, bro. You guys will still get to watch the video. You just won't be able to participate in the vetting and the voting process as before. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. Please don't die, and I'll see you guys next time. All right?